Hey everyone, welcome back to another explainer. Today we're diving into something that honestly feels like it shouldn't even exist in the 21st century, yet it aggressively clashes with our modern world every single day. We're talking about the dark, shadowy world of black magic and superstition. We're going to break down exactly how these ancient beliefs manage to survive, thrive, and manipulate people right under our noses.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the illusion of black magic, look at the deadly costs of superstition, tackle stereotypes in modern media, unpack the whole business of blind faith, and finally, talk about how we can actually eradicate this darkness.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the illusion of black magic, and how clashing eras exist right now in the 21st century. Okay, let's really dive into this, because the core premise here is just wild. Picture this. On one hand, humanity is literally driving rovers on the surface of Mars. We're unlocking the secrets of the universe. But then, on the flip side, people are literally freezing in absolute fear just because a black cat crossed their path. It's this massive, bizarre contrast between our greatest scientific triumphs and our most primal, irrational fears. It almost sounds like a bad joke, right? But it's actually an incredibly common reality for millions. And you know what? This reality is literally plastered all around us. If you've ever taken a train or walked past city walls, you've definitely seen these ads. They promise these ridiculous 24-hour guaranteed solutions for really deep personal human issues. We're talking about curing romantic breakups, fixing a declining marriage, overcoming childlessness, even resolving sexual problems. Instead of telling people to seek real medical or psychological help, these everyday ads totally prey on human vulnerabilities. They promise you a quick, magical fix with an amulet or a chant. Moving on to section 2, the deadly costs of superstition. Let's look at the grim reality of blind faith. Now, while those wall ads might just seem kind of funny or absurd to some of us, the real-world consequences, they're horrifying. Let's look at the actual human cost. 50 to 70. According to reports from the National Crime Records Bureau, that is the number of people who die every single year in India directly because of superstitions and black magic practices. And let's be real, those are just the officially documented cases. The ground reality, hidden away in remote villages and behind closed doors, is likely way, way higher. To truly grasp the weight of this, we need to walk through the timeline. And remember, these are not ancient myths. These are modern-day tragedies. In 2013, a woman in a Maharashtra village was beaten to death because locals literally blamed her for an epidemic, calling her a witch. Fast forward to 2018 in Jharkhand, a mother actually threw her 2 children into a well because a tantric convinced her they were possessed. And even more recently in Purulia, a woman named Shamel Hembram was nearly burned alive by a mob over witchcraft accusations. These are heartbreaking, senseless acts happening in our lifetime, proving this is an ongoing crisis. And the mental manipulation goes so deep that it leads to these totally extreme acts of blind faith. For example, in Kerala, a young man, completely under the influence of superstitious beliefs, murdered his entire family, his mother, sister, and grandmother, and then burned the house down. Or in Gujarat, where a couple actually sacrificed themselves by offering their own heads into a ritual fire, all because of black magic delusions. It really shows how completely this stuff can rewire someone's mind. Section 3, stereotypes in modern media. We're going to look at how culture misrepresents the narrative. So how does all this ancient stuff bleed into our modern entertainment? Well, the source material points out a really significant frustration about cultural stereotypes, specifically how the media overgeneralizes Bengalis. You'll often see Bollywood films inexplicably link Kolkata to black magic plots, regardless of the main storyline. And on social media, Instagram Reels constantly use black magic as a cheap punchline for Bengali stereotypes. The big concern raised here is that the media is essentially exploiting superstitions for entertainment, casually taking a rich, complex culture and reducing it to archaic, superstitious tropes just for some quick views. All right, section 4, the business of blind faith. Let's unpack the psychology of the scam. So you gotta wonder, right? In the age of information, why are people still falling for this? Let's break down the psychological mechanics of this massive exploitative industry. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the trap works. It's basically a flawless 3-step formula. Step 1, a vulnerable person is dealing with fear, a desperate need, or just a severe lack of confidence. Step 2, in walks the so-called fake baba or tantric, who charges exorbitant fees for some vague magical cure, usually an amulet or enchanted water. Then comes step 3, the real psychological hook. If things naturally work out for the victim, boom, confirmation bias cements their belief forever. But if it fails, the Baba simply deflects the blame back onto the victim, claiming they didn't do the ritual correctly. It's a perfect psychological trap that scams people out of lakhs of rupees. Let me actually share a fascinating anecdote from the source that perfectly captures this whole con. There was this man who desperately wanted a son, right? So he pays a fake Baba a staggering 4 lakh rupees for this special amulet guaranteed to grant his wish. Months later, his wife gives birth to a daughter. Furious, he storms back to the Baba. The Baba just calmly tells him to open the expensive amulet. Inside was a tiny piece of paper with a simple phrase written on it. It will be a girl. Think about the absolute genius of that con. If the man had a boy, he never would have opened the amulet. He would have just praised the Baba's magic. But because he had a girl, the Baba used that hidden note to claim he predicted it all along. Unbelievable. So what this really boils down to is redefining what magic actually looks like today. Look at fake magic. It relies on cheap amulets, simple chemical tricks that change watercolors, and straight-up fear-based extortion. But consider real magic. We're talking about artificial intelligence, massive scientific breakthroughs, and building actual tangible skills. Real magic doesn't extort you out of your hard-earned money by making you afraid. It's based on technology and science, which empowers us rather than exploits us. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Eradicating the Darkness. Actionable cures for a societal plague. It's time to shift gears here and look at how society can actively dismantle these deeply rooted archaic beliefs. And really, it all starts from the ground up with grassroots science and education. The absolute game changer here is raising scientifically minded kids from day one. In many rural areas, there are these incredible organizations setting up Vigyan Mach, or science platforms. They use engaging methods like local plays and puppet shows to explain basic concepts, like how viruses and bacteria actually make us sick. By clearly teaching basic medical science, they actively replace the terrifying idea of witches or curses with straightforward biology. It gets people to seek actual medical treatment instead of thinking someone is possessed. But beyond just education, we also have to rely on critical legal and social defense lines. Several states, including Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Bihar, have actually enacted specific anti-witchcraft laws. But here's the massive challenge. Police apathy and the sheer terror victims feel often stop these laws from actually being enforced. The laws exist, but they aren't always applied. So, what's the solution? Honestly, it's public courage and the media. Social media awareness campaigns, and even mainstream web series that expose these fraudulent tantrics are absolutely vital. They educate the public on their rights and build up that collective courage we need to make sure the laws actually protect the vulnerable. So as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. Are you ready to replace the darkness of superstition with the light of logic and scientific thinking? Because every single time we choose education over fear, and every time we question an irrational claim, we literally break an invisible chain. Thank you so much for hanging out with me to unpack this fascinating, critical topic today. Keep asking those questions, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.